Are you saving your money the wrong way? Discover the 5 assets that outperform simply saving money and may transform your financial future. Don't miss this opportunity to make your money work for you. Everyone knows that the US dollar has faced difficulties when we look at its history. Let's take a look at the numbers. What is $1 from 1980 worth today? To give you an idea, according to the US Consumer Price Index, what you could buy with $1 in 1980 is now equivalent to 25 cents. In other words, the dollar has lost 75% of its value since then. Now, let's compare it with other assets. Real estate. First asset we will look at is the real estate market. Using the same comparison, how much is $1 invested in real estate worth? Well, $1 is worth only 25 cents. In real estate, it would be approximately worth $4. This is due to the appreciation of properties, as shown by the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. And if you consider rents, take a look. They skyrocketed to $5.29. This means your rent increased fivefold, while property values increased fourfold, compared to the decline of the US dollar. Gold and precious metals. Now, I know many of you are thinking, but what about gold? Gold is the solution. Gold is considered a hedge against inflation, and we will talk about it and other precious metals. Let's not limit ourselves to just gold, as many of you also enjoy commodities. Let me share what Warren Buffett said about gold. If you take an ounce of gold and hold it for a long time, you will still have 1 ounce at the end. It doesn't generate anything. You can hold it, but it does nothing. Regarding this last part, I don't fully agree with Buffett. With gold and silver, you are betting that someone will pay more for this product in the future. They don't produce anything. Now, how much would $1 in gold have been worth in 1980? Nowadays, it would be worth $366. Therefore, it truly protects its value. It definitely outpaced inflation to some extent. But, like real estate, it doesn't generate income unless you allocate some space. And with gold, there's no way to do that. So, I've always had a problem with precious metals. They serve as protection, but not as an investment. Stocks. Third asset is stocks. This is a type of investment, depending on how you get into it. This always impresses me, especially when we start earning from them, whether through stock rents or receiving dividends. Owning stocks offers some advantages. Historically, it is one of the best investments, with an average return above 10%. For example, if you had invested $1 in the S&P 500, it would have grown to about $55 or $54.30, depending on how you calculate it. And this is a huge difference compared to real estate or gold. It's worth noting that we are only talking about rents that amount of $5.29. I'm not counting how much that would have accumulated, but it would definitely be a significant sum. Stocks really appreciate significantly over time. That's why you should have them in your portfolio. And it gets even more interesting when you start reinvesting the dividends. If I had reinvested, that $54.30 could turn into $170. That's Warren Buffett's strategy, right? Buy things that generate profit. In a rental property, I receive rent over the years. In the stock market, I collect dividends. And if you're thinking, but Toby, if you reinvest, you have to pay taxes on that. The interesting part about dividends is that they are taxed as long-term capital gains. It hasn't always been this way, but now, for most people, dividends can be taxed at zero. So, you can reinvest. And if you're in an IRA, a 401k plan, or any benefit scheme, the money will grow tax-free. This can increase significantly over time. Fourth asset is bonds. Here, We are talking about a more conservative and secure option. Bonds tend to perform well, are safe, and help protect against inflation over time. If I look at 3-month bonds since 1980 and keep investing, I'd be in the range of $5, just like my gold and my properties without rent. If I bought a house, I might think it's the best investment you can make. But it's not quite that simple. They are in the same category as gold and bonds. They are great protections, but they don't generate much income. However, they are definitely better than the US dollar, which is losing value and melting away. I always think that if you put a block of ice under the sun, it will melt quickly. That's what we're doing with our money when we leave large amounts in cash and aren't making them yield. Cryptocurrencies. We come to number 5. And I know many of you have opinions about this, so feel free to comment below. Let's talk about cryptocurrencies. They have generated the highest returns of all asset classes. Now, I'm not a big fan of believing cryptocurrencies are worth that much, but I have a quote from Warren Buffett that applies here. He always says it's like trying to sell something that's worth nothing. And even if you bought Bitcoin when it launched for just 9 cents, if you had invested $1, you would have gotten about 12 Bitcoins, which are now worth about $67,000. That would make for some good money. So, $1 would actually become 12 times that amount. You would be very ahead, with a value of $800,000. I put 800K to make it easier to visualize. It far surpasses all other assets. But the problem with cryptocurrencies is that there are many coins out there with no value. So, I don't want to just say, let's invest in cryptocurrencies. But they are statistically a better option than the US dollar over time. It's worth noting that the US dollar isn't doing well because it's being devalued by the printing of more money and inflation. What you should invest in are assets. And of course, there are 2 categories that stand out. One of them is cryptocurrencies. I definitely don't dismiss that over time, if you want to invest in something that doesn't generate income, it doesn't meet my criteria as an investor. However, maybe Ethereum is an exception because you can stake it and generate some yield. That's a valid argument. But even so, it's clear that there are 2 classes of assets that have shown to be significantly better than the US dollar over time. All 5 of these assets are better than cash and deserve your attention. It all depends on your risk tolerance and your age regarding which of these categories would work best for you. What are your favorites? Leave a comment below. Did I miss something? Comment below. And, more importantly, like and subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share. Did you enjoy the content? Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Share your opinions and experiences with these assets in the comments. Let's build a richer future together.